You ever wake up thinking you're about to have a lazy Sunday just to find out you've stumbled into $1 million war? Yeah, that's how this whole mess kicked off for me. Bare feet in the grass, a headache brewing, and the sound of heavy machinery echoing across my grandfather's lake before the sun even finished rising. 6 a.m. Hydraulic drills, howling construction crews crawling all over what was supposed to be my peaceful slice of inherited paradise. Now, I'm no stranger to HOA shenanigans, but this was something else. What really ticked me off was seeing a bunch of guys in neon vests driving steel pilings right into my lake. The same lake my granddad Joe spent his whole life protecting, the same patch of water I was told in no uncertain terms was private property since the day I moved in. I've got the paperwork to prove it too. Or at least I thought I did. And the kicker? I'm not just some clueless city guy they tried to play me. But I'm a civil engineer, and I inherited my grandpa's stubborn streak along with the land. I stormed out there, hair a mess, jeans from yesterday, and no shoes, because that's how little time I had to process any of this. The foreman big guy with forearms like oak branches gives me a wave like I'm late to my own barbecue. Mrs. Whitmore said it'd be fine to start early, he calls, not even pausing the crew. And the mention of Karen Whitmore, that made my stomach churn. If you've never had the pleasure, just picture every stereotype of an HOA president cranked up to 11, impeccable hair, surgically polite, and dead eyes that measure your worth the second you open your mouth. Before I can say more, her Mercedes glides up, because of course it does. And Karen herself steps out all smiles and calculated charm, manila folder in one hand and her phone already up to her ear. "Jake, sweetie, I'm so glad you're here," she says, her voice drenched in that syrupy, "I'm about to ruin your day" tone. Apparently, there's some emergency community improvement underway, and technology must have swallowed her calls to me. Yeah, right. She's pitching this like it's a gift to humanity, a bridge that'll transform the local resort, create jobs, boost the economy, and cure cancer while it's at it. Except she's building it right across my lake, without so much as a heads up. So I throw down the gauntlet, Karen, with all due respect. What the hell are you talking about? You can't just build a bridge across my lake. She flashes that smile, but I catch something cold in her eyes. Then she whips out some county paperwork, all shiny seals and legalese, showing the lake has supposedly been community property since 1987. Sure looks official, I'll give her that. But I know a magic trick when I see one, and my gut tells me I'm being hustled. She talks up the bridge like it's the eighth wonder, full suspension, 40 feet above the water clearance for luxury yachts, an economic miracle. She even brings up her late husband, Mark, who believed infrastructure was about connecting people. And for a minute, she almost gets me, until I look out at that chaos on my property and remember exactly who's standing in my yard. I call the sheriff right in front of her. That's when she drops another bomb. She's already got a pre-signed authorization from the deputy fast-tracked under emergency provisions. And she looks satisfied, like I just handed her the winning lottery ticket. I'm reeling. I spend all night poring over every deed map and sticky note Grandpa Joe ever left me. First thing Monday, I hit the county records office. The clerk, kind eyes, the patience of a saint, studies Karen's paperwork and gets this look like she just bit into a lemon. These documents reference a reclassification I don't see anywhere in our records. That's not normal. That's my first real sign Karen's playing with a stacked deck. 2 hours of digging later, it's clear Karen's bridge permit is built on old doctored survey maps, and the real property lines never changed. The next surprise walks up my porch steps in the form of Betty Chen, tiny, steely, and more resourceful than half the lawyers I know. She hands me an envelope my grandfather left for when the time came. Inside, original survey maps, detailed letters chronicling a decades-long feud, and proof Karen's been after this lake since before I was born. She even mortgaged her resort expansion on future lake access, betting big I'd roll over. So armed with the original surveys and some real dirt on Karen's financial situation, thanks to Betty's old-school accounting sleuthing, I march into Karen's office that night. I drop the documents on her desk. "Karen, I know what you're up to. The lake's private. The county's gonna know it too." She doesn't flinch, but her eyes narrow. "Prove it in court then, buddy." "My lawyers cost more than your house." So I do. File for a restraining order first thing. Judge eats up the documents. By noon, all construction halts. For about a minute, I feel like I've won. Until I check my mailbox, 12 new HOA violations, plus $8,400 in fines, each one pettier than the last photos timestamped just hours after court. Karen's making it clear this isn't over, not by a long shot. She calls a community meeting, and I walk into a hostel room packed with resort employees, construction workers, and local business owners with a stake in her success. Karen's giving a masterclass in manipulation charts, testimonials, the works painting me as the villain holding the community hostage. Then I spot a twist. Half the folks testifying don't even live here. One's Karen's contractor, another runs her catering, the loudest guy is her accountant. But then comes Marcus Rodriguez, a total stranger, sharp suit, real lawyer. And as fate would have it, the son of a man Grandpa Joe once helped. Marcus reveals the ace up our sleeve, the lake's a protected watershed, and Karen never completed the environmental review. One filing with the EPA, he says, and the project freezes. By Monday, Marcus makes it happen. Construction halts again. Now we've got momentum. Deputy Sarah Collins joins us, showing a decade-long pattern of Karen harassing waterfront owners until they sell. Betty's tracing Karen's debts, $15 million to the banks and $400,000 to a tribal casino breathing down her neck. We also uncovered that the resort's access road, the only one, runs through a 60-year easement on my property set to expire in 2 days. Suddenly, Karen's entire empire is on a timer. If I don't renew, the resort's road access vanishes. But just as I'm riding high, my ex-wife Melissa files for emergency custody, complete with evidence of my supposed instability, and wouldn't you know it, she's just landed a cushy job at Karen's resort. The timing's no accident. Karen's aiming straight for my weak spot, my son Tyler. Betty arrives with a final envelope from Grandpa, an investigative file on Karen showing she's weaponized custody battles and personal ruin before. But that's not all. In Grandpa's safety deposit box, I find a bombshell, a structural engineering analysis showing Karen's bridge can't handle the heavy yacht traffic she's promising. Worse, there's a recording of Karen brushing off her engineer's warnings. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I just need the permits. It's criminal negligence, plain and simple. Saturday dawns, bridge opening day. Instead of a ribbon cutting, I show up with Marcus Sarah, a wireless mic, and a live stream going straight to the internet. In front of 300 guests, I lay it out. The easement has expired. Nobody can drive to the resort legally. The bridge is a death trap. And I play the recording of Karen ignoring safety warnings. Chaos erupts. Guests freak. County engineers arrive, and the bridge is condemned on the spot. Karen finally breaks, sobbing in front of everyone, confessing to the casino debts, the fake permits, the lies, and the pressure that pushed her to gamble with lives. The aftermath. Karen's arrested for fraud and reckless endangerment, but she gets help for her addiction. HOA reforms sweep the neighborhood. My ex's dirty deal is exposed, and custody goes back to normal, and 5 other families get justice and their land returned. As for the bridge, after a real inspection and some serious reinforcement, it becomes a community fishing pier named for Karen's late husband, the man who believed in connecting people, not tearing them down. Months later, sitting on that pier with Tyler watching the sunset, I think about Grandpa Joe. Maybe the best revenge isn't burning everything your enemies build. Maybe it's showing what could have been built if folks had just done the right thing from the start. And if you've listened this far, I gotta ask, what would you have done? Stand your ground or take the easy way out? Share your thoughts below. Sometimes justice isn't about courts or cops. It's about refusing to let a bully win no matter what they throw at you.